optimize my Google business profile. Why don't you mind your own business? Okay, it's hard to do that with a straight face. What's up, everybody? My name is Zetho, and I'm with Clark 5 Design at clark5design.com. And today I'm showing you how to optimize your Google My Business profile so that you can show up at the top of that list every time someone is searching for your products or services. Now, you probably don't need to be reminded of the power of Google these days, especially when it comes to doing local business. The stats coming out of Google are insane. So many people are searching for something in their local area. Even if they've already done business before with the company, they're still searching. They're seeing their options. They're looking at reviews. So showing on top of that list is a huge revenue driver for small business. And luckily, Google is playing the cards fairly this time when it comes to local businesses versus national businesses. But it's still very crowded in a local space, so you need to stand out. And we're going to go over that here. Now, before we jump into that, I want to tell you a little bit about the Google Business Formula and what brings people to the top of that list and why it's so important. So I'm sure you've used Google before. Heck, my 6-year-old uses Google. But when you Google something, especially if you're looking for something locally, you've got a series of lists or a series of places that come up. Usually right there on mobile, which is becoming more and more popular every day to do searches on, you've got what's called the map pack. That thing is the gold that you've been searching for. If you can show up on that, you can drive almost 90% of the business to you, because those 3 people that show up on there get 90% of the clicks, which is nuts. What goes into those 3 listings right there is Google's formula of relevancy, prominency, and proximity. Out of those 3, you can only really control 2 of them, but that's still a big chunk of the pie, and that's what we're going to talk about. Proximity, well, unless you have a business that just moves around and follows their customers, I guess a food truck can, but you can't exactly change it in Google every single time you have a chance, so it's just not going to work. So eliminating proximity, you've got the other 2 in control. Relevancy and prominence are the other 2 areas in which you can control. Now, those are kind of obtuse, ambiguous words that you might not know what they mean, but at Clark 5, we have over 50 different tasks to boost your business in these 2 areas to get you shown in that map pack. But to start out, if you're doing it at home and you don't have us do it, well, you're going to need some tips. So let's jump on into Clark 5's ways to optimize your Google My Business profile and start winning your business. Let's hop on my computer and get to work. All right, everybody, we made it to the computer screen. And I do want to note that if you're a business owner and you want some tips and tricks, advice to help propel your business into the future and drive revenue, it's all on the web. It's all happening right there where your customers are hanging out. Head on over to clark5design.com/blog. Check out our blog. We've got some amazing, insightful tips that can pretty much service any small business owner looking to make actionable steps in their business. All right, so of course we're talking about how to best use Google My Business for small business SEO, which is optimizing your Google profile. SEO, if you're not familiar, is search engine optimization. Fancy word for that. And that equates to you getting your business to show up on the top of search results when people are looking for you. All right, so the first tip we have, and this is a doozy, guys, is to match your website and Google. You want these 2 things to be congruent in nature. Why? Because Google is looking for that. Google's main objective is to service their customers the best they can with the best answer they can, and the way they know how is to make sure that things are congruent. Now, your website is not the only place where your information is going to be across the internet, but it is the first place that Google looks. So for example, if you're over here at Google My Business, and if you haven't created a Google My Business profile, I should tell you to just go to google.com/business and set it up. It walks you right through it. It shouldn't be hard. You can do it in a couple steps, and then you can come back to this video and we can start optimizing it in ways that aren't in there tutorial and so easy to follow. So, but if you already have one of those, like you probably do, let's go ahead and talk about that. So the Google My Business profile matching your website is incredibly important. Let's say that we're on Google and we want to find fence builders. You can see I've seen this, I've Googled this before, but fence builders in my area. I live in Albany, Oregon, and Google will pop it up and it will have this beautiful map pack. Now I'm going to tell you right now, these three people, these three businesses are going to get most of the clicks and most of the business for anyone living in my section of Albany, because they've done something in relevancy and prominency that has earned them the title up here. But let's move on. So let's start with Combat Construction. That's got a cool name, and plus 12 5-star reviews. That's probably why they're showing up, by the way. But when you click on them and you start pulling their information over, and you go to their website, because this is this congruency, right? You look at their information, and they should have, well, they should have some phone number here. Okay, ends in 5397, right? And if we go back and look at where they showed up and their information, that's the exact same phone number right there. Exact same phone number showed up under their information. That congruency tells Google, yep, these guys are who they say they are, and that's a huge trust building factor. Also, the name of your company right up here, Combat Construction Inc., needs to basically, we'll open a new tab here, needs to, yeah, they did a great job. Basically right there, right at the beginning, validate what your business name is to the letter. I wouldn't stray too far from this, because you don't want Google guessing anything. You don't want Google filling in the blanks. You want to fill in their blanks. So there's the two important tips. Also, your address. Your address is incredibly important. Your name of your company, your phone number, and of course your address. Now, do I see their address here? I do. It's down here. So they did a link to it. Google will understand that because it is a Google map that they're using right here to identify where they are. So Google will understand that, but listing out your address here in your Google profile and also listing it somewhere on your website, I would say at the top, I always put we have a few construction companies, we put their phone number, the phone and the address right there at the top along with their name. Now these guys could probably go for a much better website, but we're not here to criticize that. Anyways, let's move on. Little pro tip when you're putting your address on your website is to keep it in the format that Google has it. You know how Google has it in this format, right? Well, they don't have all the addresses listed. So the Google address format is right here. This is an example, 123 Main Street, Philomath, Oregon, 97370. That exact format, spaces with the commas right there, everything. That's a little insight tip. If you can match that, then Google has no guessing to do. Another pro tip is if you use call tracking systems, some companies do, some companies don't. But if you do, you probably want to get your main number routed to those call tracking. Just make sure that your call tracking number, if you're going to use that, has a local area code. Because, you know, I live in an area where 541 or 503 are the prominent area codes. You know your area codes locally. You want those to match because Google's making sure that you are indeed a local business, and that's what it uses. So make sure that if you have a call tracking number, you're also using that. Assign the best Google My Business categories. Why would you want to assign Google My Business categories very intentionally and very minimally? Well, you want to be careful with these. You know, I'm showing you Clark 5's categories right here. We're web design and marketing agency. We put 2. Now we do a lot of different services, and you can find this under over here. When you log into Google My Business, you've got this left-hand column and you go to info, and of course you can edit all the things that you do. But right here, web design and web agency, that's where we put our categories. Yours will be very similar in the area that it is. You want to make sure that your primary offerings first, and if you have a really strong secondary, you can put that there too. If you do not have something that is very specific in that category, for example, let's say that you have a restaurant that happens to have a bar in that restaurant, your second category after restaurant will not be bar. You don't want to put a bar under there, or else it's gonna throw people off. So just be very conscientious about the categories that you use. Remember that each category you put kind of spreads your Google love, I like to say. Google love a little thin. So put your prominent categories, don't go crazy in that area. And it's best to make sure, it's just best to think twice before assigning a category. Make sure it's really applicable to your business. All right. Next is get amazing professional photos. Well, professional is a loosey-goosey type of term, but I can't tell you what an impact photos have in customers' decisions, especially relevant photos. So I like to always bring these guys up. Bow and Vine, man, they make some good burgers. But there's a Bow and Vine in Corvallis, Oregon, which is a town just right next to mine, and they always have amazing photos. I mean, look at this stunning opening image. You know what? Let's just click on it. Let's just go it a little deeper. I'm hungry already. Look at this image. Oh my gosh! And you just go down the list. You're seeing these amazing images. You know, you can see some by owner, so these are the ones they've taken. You can tell these are very thought out. Look at the way they lay them out, true to brand. You can see they've got kind of a grungy, darkish feel to them. You know, that's their brand, that's their colors, black and white. And they're making just stunning, high quality photos. Look how quality. You can see the meat in the apples. That's great. You know, getting amazing images, I mean, it makes you stick out from the competition. So getting some professional photos might not be such a bad thing. Next is go deep with your products and services. Now, how do you write a Google My Business service description that really stands out? You definitely don't stick to a 1 or 2 liner. That is boring. People are not going to really they're not going to adhere, they're not going to connect with that. That's the word I'm looking for. They're not going to connect with your description if you're just going to write, I build fences out of, Doug fir. No, talk more about your service. And I can show you an example here that Clark 5 does. We've got our services listed here. We've got light web design, business, pro design, hosting, and we got a plethora of other services that we combine into a marketing package for small businesses. But when we talk about it, when we go into these things, we created a good long, very descriptive, what is it and what makes it special, why we're better at it kind of statement. It's hard to coach you because we don't know exactly what your business offers, but you do. So get real descriptive, take a couple sentences and make yourself stand out in here, because Google does use this when people are searching for those services locally. It looks at this and sees, is this someone that's applying themselves? Is this the product or service that they're looking for? How, they're looking for that type of thing, and they don't want you to skimp on it, trust me. Well, they don't really care. You don't want yourself to skimp on it, let's be honest. Systematic, another huge piece of the pie. Oh my gosh, this is so magnificent, is the ability for a business to get reviews. Some business owners think it is a mystery to get reviews. It is not a mystery. If you can systematically ask for reviews at the right time, Google is going to feed you money. They're basically going to feed you money. And in our opinion, it is the biggest ranking factor that you are in control of, is your Google reviews. Why is it so important? I love this infographic right here. 91% of customers are regularly or occasionally reading online reviews. 91%. What the heck? Okay, 84% of people say they trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. Good Lord. Okay. 74% of customers say that a positive reviews make them trust local businesses more. There cannot be any more proof that you need to systematically ask for reviews and try to pile those up. Why is it important? Well, first of all, Google, that is a huge ranking factor in getting to the top. We looked at Fence Builders, 12 reviews right here. Even though these guys are probably closer and have done other things that might have boosted them, 12 reviews, 5-star, probably put them right up towards the top. You want to do that for your business, except for, 100-fold. You want to just pile up reviews and not stop. Do you know why? Because Google believes in relevancy as well. They not want you to be applicable in the time that someone is searching for something. So if you have 100 reviews that are a year old, that's not going to matter as much as someone who has 10 reviews that are within the last couple months, because Google wants to transmit that relevancy to people, not just that stockpile of older reviews. So continually finding new reviews and continually asking for them systematically, automatically in your business can be a huge driver of traffic and ultimately more customers in your business. So how can you create this customer feedback? Well, there's a few huge tips when it comes to managing your reputation, your reviews online. After all, collecting these reviews via email or via phone should not be that hard. You're already doing business with someone. What you want to be careful of is getting good reviews from people that are happy and try to settle the problems that come up with negative reviews before they come out and they turn into a negative review. You can really deter a negative review if you know ahead of time that they're not happy with your product or service, and that's probably something you want to know either way. So how do you do this? Well, the best way to create a feedback loop is to ask for reviews via email or text, sometimes both, right after they've made the purchase. Now, depending on your business, this might be altered in some sense, but you want to ultimately send them an email or text that takes them to a review page. Now, Clark 5 Design, we add these to the websites we build. It is part of our system because it ultimately has to all work together like one machine. This is an example of our review single pager. It's not complicated. There's no distractions on here. It's as distractionless as possible. People need reviews. Care to leave one? Your feedback not only helps us, it helps other potential customers. You want your customers to believe that you're not just asking them a review for your benefit. You want them to know that they're making an impact in other people's buying decisions as well. So it takes them to a page like this, super simple. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't overcomplicate it. If your customer is coming here and they had a good review, they're going to hit the thumbs up. If they had a negative review, they're going to hit the thumbs down. We set it up so thumbs up reviews go to, wow, thank you. Which review site do you prefer? And you can send them to whatever review site you prefer. Or if they hit a thumbs down, Houston, we have a problem. We, of course, do strive for 100% customer satisfaction, and that is very true at Clark 5. We would not leave an unhappy customer alone at all. We would make things right. So what do we ask for? We ask for their contact information and a message of why they felt that we did not provide this customer service or the service that they expected. And that goes straight to your inbox, preventing a negative review, so you can reach out to that person before they go hunting for a place to put that negative review. It's a great idea to put happy customer case studies below your review ask in case someone's saying, well, what did they say? What did they say? Incredibly powerful stuff right there. Super easy, super simple. All right, so let's wrap it up and also give you a little Google extra love here. If you're looking to squeeze every last ounce out of Google My Business and you just want to be at the top no matter what it takes, well, we could give you a ton more tips. But this one right here is a good do-it-yourself tip, is use the posts section of your Google My Business profile. You've got your Google My Business profile, and you've got an area where you can start posting things. Well, let's take a look over here. This is a great example of, I think, someone that uses the post section very well, and that's Bonaventure. Bonaventure out of Salem is the one I particularly targeted here. But you know, they've got their Google My Business profile, they've got a good amount of reviews, they've got their category, they've got everything set up there. But what we're looking at right here is this post section right here. Look, they posted, "We don't just rent you an apartment, we provide you with a home and a lifestyle, you da da da," and you can click and read the whole post with a call now call to action. So you can call them directly from your phone, and this is just free advertising basically. They didn't pay for this. They just put up a photo, wrote some words, and boom, free advertising on the most trafficked platform in the world. Really good idea, and you can tell these guys are consistent with it, which Google loves as well. See? Very well done, and all of those ending in a call to action, which is just asking your customers, hey, please come do business with us. We're good people. Alright guys, I hope that helps you in your Google My Business ventures. Of course, if you need any help setting up your profile or optimizing it, give Clark 5 Design a call, because we can absolutely help you with that. There are probably 40 other ways that we optimize Google My Business profiles that are very increasingly important. However, these are the best tips in which you can do it yourself. If you'd like to go all out, contact us and we'll get you to the top, my friends. All right, from Clark 5, my name is Zeth. You guys take care. Have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.